Hello everyone! Welcome back to the channel. My name is Emily. Today we are talking about my June wrap-up. So all the books I read in June. I read a lot of really good ones. I had a good reading month. I read 9 books. That's a good chunk of books. So the first one that I read was Mrs. Jeffries Rocks the Boat by Emily Brightwell. This is just the next one in the, I was about to say Emily Brightwell series. No, that's the author. In the Mrs. Jeffries series, Mrs. Jeffries is the housekeeper for a Scotland Yard detective, and behind the scenes, she and the rest of the staff help him solve the mysteries. It is fantastic. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorites. I don't know why it was Rock the Boat. Do I remember what happened in this one? No, I do not. All I remember, okay, I just re-googled it because I truly couldn't remember. It's been a long month. So in this one, a body is found in a locked garden where it is surrounded by houses, and the only keys belong to those people in the houses. And so the suspect pool is incredibly small because it has to be someone that surrounds this garden, and there's lots of like mistaken identity in this one. It was really good. I liked the ending. I didn't see what was coming, like who the bad guy was at the end. I didn't see that one coming, so that's always a good thing when you are reading a mystery novel. Okay, so then the next one is Mystery on the Blue Train by Agatha Christie, the queen of mystery books. And this one is actually very similar to the Mrs. Jeffries one. There's a lot of characters. That's the only thing with Agatha Christie, is she gives you so many characters that it's kind of hard to remember who is who. But with this one, it is a Hercule Poirot mystery. There is a murder on the train, and there are a lot of different suspects because the woman who died is the daughter of a wealthy American businessman. So is it because of her father that she died? Is it because of her crazy husband? Sort of who had reason to kill this person? Lots of mistaken identities again, which is always fun. I love that sort of bait and switch that happens in mysteries. That's one of my favorite aspects of them. Really good. I loved it. It was one of my favorite Agatha Christie's that I've ever read. The next one was a middle grade, The Shadow Throne by Jennifer A. Nielsen. This is the third in that series. This was a reread for me because now I can go on to the fourth and fifth book, which is very exciting. And we just continue following the same characters. The war has officially broken out in this land, and we kind of have to follow, if I say character names, it's going to spoil it because you definitely have to read this one in order to know what's going on. But there's a lot of things happening, a lot of intrigue, a lot of like maneuvering of battles and different things like that, which I loved. A lot of characters, all the characters from the past two books are in this one. And so I'm hoping that the fourth and fifth one just continue to add to the story rather than take from it, because they happened like almost a decade after. So the fourth one came out like a decade after that third one, if I'm remembering my research correctly. So we'll see about the next one, but The Shadow Throne was a great supposed ending to the trilogy, but then she added on to it. So we'll see what happens. The next one, lots of mysteries this month. I didn't realize that. The Falcon at the Portal by Elizabeth Peters. One of probably my all-time favorite mystery series. It's the Amelia Peabody mystery series. We follow Amelia Peabody and her family as they travel from Victorian England to Egypt for the digs each season. Because this one happens to be, this book is about halfway through the series, I think. I think it's 20 books total, 21, something like that. And this is like book 11, I think. So by this time we have gathered all of these side characters and we see a lot of them come back. You know, the kids are kind of doing their own thing. They're figuring things out. Some are getting married. Some are trying to just kind of become their own person outside of this famous Amelia and her husband, and different things like that. And I love it. The family drama in this one, as long as I'm not involved in the drama, I love watching it. It was so like reality TV-esque that I'm like, what is going on? The cousin in this one, I wanted to smack him. Oh my goodness. Such a fantastic twist. I didn't like some of the things that happened to their daughter, but so I'm hoping, and Elizabeth, what's her name? Elizabeth Peters, the author, she does a lot of like vague statements, and so I think I know what they're talking about, but then she goes on so quickly that I'm like, wait, what just happened here? Slight confusion. I think it's probably more of a me thing because I listen to it as I drive and as I do my walks, things like that. So it's probably just a me thing. Lots of just vague innuendos type things. Not even innuendos, just vagueness. So other than that, it's wonderful. I love it. So there's something that happened between their daughter and then their son, and I'm hoping that gets resolved in the next one. Just the family drama in this one just made me really, really happy. Like I said, as long as I'm not involved in it myself, I'm totally fine. The next one, probably my favorite of the month. It was adorable. Oh my goodness. I have seen this on YouTube from a bunch of different other Christian booktubers, and so it's always been on my radar. I have the second one already in my Libby app. Like, I am ready to go with this series. It's adorable. Reputation at Risk by Martha Keyes. So cute, so adorable. It's like Jane Austen just kind of like, here's a modern day version of all of my writing. It was so cute and so funny and so cheeky, and the banter back and forth between our female main character and our male main character was just so like on par. It was wonderful. So we follow Charlotte and Anthony. How I remember names, I do not know. That's amazing. And they both need what the other one has, and so they work together. And because they're caught in sort of a compromising situation for that time frame, they pretend to be engaged. And because of that, you know, they're together a lot, and so feelings start to form. It is Grumpy Sunshine. There's lots of banter, which is some of my favorite. I love Grumpy Sunshine. I love a grumpy male main character. It makes me happy. And I loved it so much. But I also loved that everything wasn't wrapped up in a bow at the end of this. So you definitely, I'm ready to move on to the next one because I want to see what happens to some of these characters that didn't get finalized in this first one, in the second one, if that makes sense. Anyway. Okay, so then the next one, the next three actually are the first three in a series. And if you've been watching my walking and reading vlogs, you'll have seen some of these. So this is called the Villains series. I have seen these all over the place, like in bookstores and as I'm out and about or whatever. And I haven't really heard anything about them. Then I saw them at the library and I'm like, you know what? Let's just try it. So the audiobook that I got had the first three as a combo. So I listened to all three. It is Fairest of All, which we follow the Wicked Queen from Snow White. The Beast Within, which is the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. And then Poor Unfortunate Soul is Ursula's story from The Little Mermaid. And I loved the first one, liked the second one, and the third one was like, I wanted a little bit more. So in each of these, this is sort of the backstory of how they became the villains of the Disney movies that I grew up with, right? That came out years and years and years ago. And so knowing those movies will help with this because a lot of things are quoted verbatim from the movies, which I thought was fun. And so I loved the background of it. A lot of like, so there are 3, I think they're called the Weird Sisters or something. Anyway, they travel between all 3 books, so you have to read these in order. You can't read them willy-nilly. And so you follow sort of the villains of how they became the villain, but then there are side characters involved that travel through all of the books, if that makes sense. I'm intrigued to continue on with the story. I think, especially the last one, the Poor Unfortunate Souls about Ursula, would have been better had I not just basically binged the first 2. I think reading these separately, one at a time, with other books in between, would have helped my reading experience personally. So there's that. So I'll definitely continue on with this series because I'm intrigued. And they're short, they're quick, they're really interesting, well thought out. Just, I think I was sick of that type of genre by the end, if that makes sense. Anyway. Okay, and then just a couple of hours ago, I finished this adorable one. It's called The Elephant Thief by Jane Kerr. Okay, y'all, this is one of the most adorable middle grade I have read all year. I absolutely adored it. We follow this street urchin who is a pickpocket and is part of this really kind of nasty gang in England, Scotland area in the late 1800s. It is based off of a true story-ish. And he gets involved with a man who is buying this elephant for his menagerie. And somehow they make a deal that the little boy, who gets named Danny, it makes sense after you read it, gets named Danny, will ride the elephant from Edinburgh to Manchester in 1 week. And so along the way, they gather new people that help them. And Danny meets a friend in Henrietta who likes to be called Hetty. And just all of these different things and how the relationship between this elephant and this little boy, like, they protect each other, they love each other. And then there's like a villainous character who tries to stop them because the owner of the elephant and that menagerie, and then another menagerie who wanted the elephant but didn't win him, if that makes sense. They make a bet on if they can make it from Edinburgh to Manchester in that 1 week. And if they don't, the one gets the elephant and all the other animals. And then if the guy that owns this one, if I'm confused telling you, you're going to be confused listening. Anyway, there's a bet. And whoever wins the bet wins the elephant and all the other animals, basically. Let's be simplified, Emily. And so they're trying to thwart this kind of caravan getting from one place to the other. Really, really interesting. Like I said, based off of true events. And the author's note said that in real life, the traveling was very uneventful. But of course, in the story, she added more to add more zhuzh to the story. Wonderful. Such a good story. About an 8-hour audiobook. I listened to it on 2-speed. So it's a quick read. Very, very, very fascinating. I highly, highly recommend it. Okay, that is all. That was my month. I still have a couple of days left. I'm filming this on Saturday, the 27th. So there's like 3 or 4 more days left of the month still. So if I finish anything else, I'll put that onto my July wrap up. But this is probably going to be it, and I would love to talk to you guys down in the comments down below. All of these books will be linked in the description box with all the other good stuff down there. And I would just love to talk to you more in another video very, very soon. Bye-bye.